Hello, my name is Carx82 and welcome back to our GregTech New Horizons Season 2. Actually, I'm going to do that recipe. I was going to do that manually and then I was like, that seems a bit silly. Let's do it that way. And we will get our advanced nitinol plate. This we're just going to do manually because I don't know how I'm going to deal with the quantum anomaly. So I'm just going to... I mean, I guess if we have to do tons of this in the future, then we'll just have a laser engraver with a quantum anomaly just permanently in there. But at this point, we're just going to do the one. I think we just need the 4. And we should be good. Now, we have gone ahead and got one. I think I noticed, I checked right around, we had 76 particles left that we got the quantum anomaly. So it took about, what, 50-ish? 50-ish iterations of the recipe there. So that is just going to keep going. And if we need to, we'll build more of those, obviously, as needed. But let's just go ahead and do this. Now, these multi-blocks are, thankfully, at the right... No, I'm just going to throw it. Doesn't really matter where they go. Also, I've never, like, upgraded these input buses. They are still the LV. I've never really, like, had a big need to do them because the recipes are usually... You get so many of the wafers per doped wafer that, like, it doesn't put many items in there. So, yeah. Never really found a huge need. I will eventually, I'm sure, but... We should get nitinol. Nitinol. Yes, there we go. Alright, block of advanced nitinol. And then we'll just use the cutting machine to get the plates. Now we only need the 4. So we're going to have a few extra of the plates, but it's not the end of the world. Our cutting machine is at UV. That is a long recipe though. But that is that. Alright, so with that we should be able to... Need to craft that up and that, and we'll be able to craft up the CPU for this. Now I do need to get the matter fabricator casings, which are just niobium carbide and inconel, which aren't the end of the world, so I just need to get a bunch of those crafted up and all the other parts. The containment casings are probably the hardest bit, actually. Probably just going to be a bunch of shift-clicking recipes in here. Do I have... I think I have 4. Yeah, we have 4 input hatches, right? Yeah. They really should be HV, at least. Maybe I'll do that right now. Doesn't really feel like... there is any reason not to have the largest hatch. So, yeah, field generators, electric motors, cables, wires, plates, samarium, arcanite, and a whole bunch of circuits. And then the quantum anomaly and that. So yeah, we have pretty much all this. I just need to get this crafted up. So, let me pull that off. Let's get this... Let's get this crafted up, I think. Also, I am gonna... I'm not gonna do that for a while. I don't think there's no need. So, yeah, I'll just craft this up and we'll come back. So, as I am working on the different things that we need for the matter fabrication CPU, we have come to the point that I am going to have to move our assembly line. We need to expand it, and where I've put it, it doesn't really have enough room to grow. We need 16, I think. 16 slices is the most for the biggest recipes, and I mean, I can go through the wall, but I just don't want to do that, and it needs to be moved anyway. So I figured I would finally get around to moving it. I've also run out of room for recipes as well, so I have been just kind of replacing some recipes as needed, but I would rather have it set up so I don't need to do that. So that is what I am working on right now, getting this all moved, and then I'm going to have to move this, obviously. The cool thing about this data bank, though, is you only need the one, and then you can connect it to multiple assembly lines. It basically just takes, you know, whatever ones you have in there. It makes it think they're in there. So I need to figure out how I want to set those up. And the other thing I want to try is the new, at least since I have built this, there are now P2P interfaces. That was added sometime. I can't remember. I haven't used them yet though, but they are a new thing. So I need to test this out a little bit, actually. Because the way I'm doing it right now, it's going into a P2P item tunnel, or P2P tunnel, the item. And that's how it is getting this stuff in the assembly line, and then it's using storage buses. But I believe we can actually replace them with the P2P interface ones, and that kind of like, although pretty similar to what we're doing, it makes it a little bit easier, I believe. Also, I'm hoping that it's going to make this easier to expand into multiple assembly lines. Although, to be honest, I don't really know how that would work with conflicting recipes. Like, if I had multiple of these, because obviously we can't fit any more patterns in here. If I have like two ME interfaces and they try to craft at the same time, like, how is one gonna... Like I said, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of testing and kind of get a feel for this. But I think I want to, before I break that all down, I really just kind of want to test how this will work. So I'm gonna... We'll just do items. The fluids, unfortunately, I don't think these do fluids like the dual interfaces, so we are just going to have to convert it like we are. We're already converting fluids over there, so that's not... I mean, I know how to do that. I think basically, instead of having the storage buses, we're basically just converting them to interfaces, I think. So I don't know if it's like that much different. It just works a little bit better. So let me test this out. Here, over here would be easier because this will be connected. So if I want to do like that, is where the things are going to go. And if you don't know, the regular P2P tunnels don't have a... Thought I had an interface on me. They don't have like a GUI or anything, but the interface ones do actually have an interface. Or a GUI. So, I'm thinking... How am I going to do this? We'll do it like this. just 4 while we are testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't really need more than that. Okay, so we'll do those. And then obviously the fluid one. Maybe I should test the fluid one as well. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let me try that. I do need the fluid. What is it? The fluid? I don't remember what it's called. Fluid hat. Shoot, I don't remember what the name of that block. Fluid packet decoder. I might not have a recipe for that. Let me get this crafted up, and we'll be right back. Alright, easy enough to craft that up. So we're just going to do this. Obviously, this is not going to look exactly like this in the end. And I guess that will go on there as well. Now, the order you put the items is going to matter, but I mean, it mattered for that as well. So, I mean, I don't think there's not a whole lot changing to this. We're just kind of switching it. It's a bit, I think it's going to be a little bit more, it's a little simpler. And I think just a little less, or easier to expand, I think. Okay, so I'm thinking, I'm just kind of assuming this works like this. I could be wrong though. Alright, so we'll do we want, here we'll do party. Nine. Okay, so it should put the fluid in there first, and then that. Let me just, we want to, I just kind of need to make up a recipe, I think. Here, we'll just use that as a thing. So if I want to do 32, actually no, we need the fluid first, don't we? Here, 64, nope, that's not what we want, is it? We'd probably want, I would need to do like, it's a bit hard because I'm trying to just throw in a recipe. And it's not super easy to, here, let's do, I just want like 1,000. Is that gonna, here, I guess we could try it. I don't think that's, I think you need to put the water in, but I don't know, we'll see. Maybe that will work. Alright, netherrack, sure. Mincemeat, sure. Graphite. Carbon. Alright, there we go. I don't know why I was doing half a stack, but... Alright, there we go. There is the recipe. Oh, so it just converted it. That's what I thought. I was trying to do that way, but it just converts it. Alright, that's kind of cool. So if I do this in here, and then we connect these, whereas this is the input, output, 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 output. They should all be connected, even though it says device missing channel. It's obviously... There. I was like, it's obviously connected. So, in theory, I think... Did I switch these around? Yeah, I did. It should put them in this order, and then it'll put the fluid in there, and then it'll turn into a fluid, and then the pump will put it in there. Hopefully. Now, I gotta find the item, the large stainless. There we go. So if I do one of those... Did that actually work? Uh-oh. That did not work. Did I switch? Hold on. These don't have a priority. Oh! When I did the channels, did it reset? When I... Yeah, it might have reset them. When I... Okay, I totally don't remember having a 6. Did I? Math is hard. Apparently. Math is hard. Okay, so we'll cancel that. Let's try this again. Let me delete this. Also, how did this... these flukes... I need to sort those out. There is a conflict, and it is really annoying. Alright. Hold on. Why is this... That's not working how I thought it was going to work at all. Alright. I just realized, as I was doing this, I have completely messed up how this actually works. So, this is not how this is going to work. It's not... You don't put the item in there and then it puts it in one at a time. No. It puts the whole thing in one... Like one output. And if you want to craft up more of that item, then it puts it in the next ones. So... I have the same recipe. I took off the water part because I was thinking that was making it more confusing. And then... I may try... having a priority. It didn't seem like that priority was actually doing anything, but we'll try. So in theory, if I do like 4, it should put the items in each of these. And then going from there, we would sort it out. Yeah, I think we'll try that. So I do have blocking mode on as well for each of those. So let's try this. So if I do like 4, it should put the items in each chest. So that's how that works. That is totally not a replacement for how I was doing it at all. We're still going to have to do... Pretty sure we're still going to have to do this, but what we can do is expand it to... Oh no! That was bad. Bad things just happened. No. Oh god, I can't see. I can't see. Bad things happened. Now they're all gonna be out of order. No! Alright, let's just get the... Let's just get all the items in. Oh, that was funny. Bad. I'm telling you, sometimes these... Oh, that stresses me out. Sometimes these things... It just breaks too quick. With the higher tier pickaxes. So what you can do is... You spread this out. So I can have all these. And then... Instead of having the interface, you'll use a P2P interface. And then you can send this to multiple assembly lines from one one recipe gets sent to multiple assembly lines is how we're going to do that. But yeah, I don't think that's not going to replace like this part of it, the storage buses and all that. Okay, we are back, and I'm doing some more testing because I want to get this sorted before I end up moving this whole thing. So, from what I gather, this setup actually has to stay the same. Basically, storage buses, put the items in there with the priority, and the P2P tunnel with the item is what stops the recipes from getting clogged up with the blocking mode on it. So it's like, oh, we can't fit any more things, don't try to put any more recipes in there. So this isn't going to change, and same with these fluid packet decoders. So all that's going to stay the same. What is going to change, and there's two things that I'm going to do, not necessarily right this second, but when we start expanding the assembly lines, when I start adding more, we are going to switch the interface to the P2P interface so we can send that recipe into multiple assembly lines. But they're all going to be the same. So it's going to be the interface, and then it's going to go into a P2P tunnel, but you're just going to add more of these setups, and then so you can send the one recipe into multiple P2P tunnels, and that's how that is going to work. So we figured that out. Right now, I only have one assembly line. That's not super important, but it will be coming up here. And I can start adding assembly lines, you know, whenever I want. I just not going to do that right this second. What we are going to change, though, is the problem of only having 36 recipes. And that is really stressing me out every time I look at that. So what we're going to do, and thanks to King on my Discord, he informed me that there is a transvector interface, which basically lets you interact with this from multiple blocks. Usually there's like, it only has one side, but using the transvector interface, you can access it from multiple places. So I have kind of built this setup over here. We have our interface, we have our P2P tunnel, and then we have the output. So input P2P tunnel, output P2P tunnel. Obviously it's a bit more complicated than that. This is just very basic. And gone ahead and crafted up the transvector interface. This is actually pretty easy. Just LV generator and like Electrum and Arcane Stone. Like really super easy stuff to craft up. And then basically you just place this block down, and then you're going to place your interface in the same location. We'll go over that in a second. And then you link it with this transvector binding. Pretty much right click. There we go. This block is set like it's adjacent to that block. And now, if we want to, we can do multiple recipes here. So if I want to do this one, and these are just fake recipes I made just because I had the stuff on hand. We'll do that. And there we go. It ends up in that. Obviously, if we had storage buses and stuff, it would go where they need to go. But I'm just using a chest for now. So that is that one. And then I also have this one, which is this. So basically it's going to put the items in there like it was in place of this block, and then they end up over there as well. So that is basically what you can do. And you can have multiple transvector interfaces all going in the same block. So I don't know if there's a limit, but I did test with 2, and they both worked. Now what doesn't work, and I didn't realize this, it makes sense now that I've tested it out, but you can't put, say, this on this transvector interface. Because what this is doing is trying to interact with the side of this P2P tunnel. It basically is trying to, whichever side is the side of the block that it's trying to interact with. So this, since it's on the front, is going to interact with this side of it. This is on the side though, so it's going to be trying to interact with the side of that, and it will not work. So originally I was thinking, until I started testing this out, we look at that, it's going to say, oh, I don't have anywhere to put that item. Because it's not like a valid location. If I put that in there, we can see they are over there. So, yeah. What originally I was thinking is you could put like 6 interfaces on this and it would all interact with that side. That's not how that block works, so so good to know. But that is kind of what we're going to do. So, let me get ahead and get this broken down. I do need to make another active transformer and expand our lasers. I want to do that before I start setting this all up. And we'll get this full length assembly line fully crafted up and set up. All right, we are back, and this is actually taking me quite a bit longer than I had anticipated because I started breaking it down and then I couldn't remember how it worked. So I think I've gotten it rebuilt, and I have simplified it a little bit. I think I haven't fully tested it yet, obviously, because the data bank hasn't been moved over yet, which we will do. But I think I cut out some of the storage buses. I don't know if this is actually going to work, but it seems to with a dummy recipe. Just an item and some fluid. So instead of going into here and then using fluid storage buses, I think I can just input the items directly into the fluid packet and then pump that into the hatch above it. We'll see. I don't know. Because before I had it a little bit differently, but I think this might work. It does work with these two, even though I have all these connected. It was actually working. It was putting the right item in there and the right item in there, so it seemed to be working. So let's go ahead and... Oh, I forgot to grab the thing. Also, I need to make the interface. the interface wireless, because I have to keep jumping back here for this stuff. Alright, I just want to get this up and running, and then I will get the rest up. And also, I do plan on switching this out for... Let me leave that in while we're testing. A P2P interface. But I want to get it working before I start messing with that. Okay, so motor. Go. Cancel that. This should go pretty quick. So if you don't remember, you put the interface on the P2P tunnel. You put a P2P tunnel output up there with the item, and you do another P2P tunnel with an item into an interface. So basically, you have interface into a P2P tunnel, and then that's an input, and then it has 2 outputs. It does look like it actually worked. So what it's going to do is put the items into the subnet. This is a subnet, you can see right here, with the interface, and then it's going to use the storage buses. Since there's no storage drive or anything like that, the only place it can do is the storage buses, and they all have a priority on them. It's from 19 down to 1, I did. And then, depending on the order of the item in the pattern, is where it's going to go in the assembly line. Also, set a just fluid, a water, whatever. That was the one I was using, and a fuzzy card in each storage bus, so that will any fluid will go in there, but it will stop regular items going in there or anything. But it does appear that it worked. Let me just double check. These have, yeah, there we go. All right, so I condensed a little bit. We do have the thing in there, right? Yeah. All right, let's get it going. There we go. All right, cool. So it did work. we should have the one motor. All right, awesome. We got it to work. I was getting a bit nervous there because I was like, I don't remember how this works. But I think I got it as clean as possible, I think. That actually kind of worked out with the cabling. It seems to be pretty good. And that is a 16-slot assembly line. Now what we can do is expand this, and I think I probably will. But first, I think we need to... Well, first we need to get the data bank over, so let me do that. Okay, so now that I've got everything set up, I do want to switch it out for the P2P interfaces so we can set this up to be expanded easier. And I also, while we are doing that... I totally just blanked out right there. I want to set up multiple interfaces on the thing. I think we can do both of those at the same time. There we go. I couldn't remember what we had to hit that with. So there's the P2P interface. Let's connect to this. Now, I just want to get this up, and then I will sort out what it's going to look like channels and stuff. Okay, so let's do... I'm just testing this. I don't have a full thing up yet. It's just, I have the bottom part yet. I haven't crafted up the whole thing. I just wanted to get this working, and then we'll just use this as a thing to make sure it's actually working. So... that. And then that. Okay, so obviously this is going to go like this on the next one. That is the plan. So I need to connect these. That, and then that. All right, so that is that's the basic part. The more complicated part, I think, is adding recipes into a second interface. Okay, so I should be able to motor. Let's do blocking mode. Yes, I think this is going to work, right? In my head it works. That might take a second. It's not too bad. Alright, so then the next kind of bit we need to do is the transvector interface. I guess I would need... I'm just trying to think. We'll do... I guess we would need one of these per P2P tunnel, wouldn't we? Alright, there we go. It went in there. And then this should have... I don't know why I'm coming up here. It probably is done. Oh, there it goes. Alright, perfect. Okay, so we got the parallel. Obviously, this would go into the next one. And then now I just need to figure out how I'm going to do this. So I guess... we would need to... Okay, let me think about this really quick. Okay, I think I have figured it out. At least I have in my head. I haven't tested it. So I've kind of continued setting up this so I can picture it a little bit better. The only thing I haven't, obviously this is just going in the chest instead of the assembly line. But there is our P2P tunnel item, input to output. And then there is the ME interface. Now that one is supposed to be that. into that. All right, cool. So that's connected. That's connected. So if I did the 2 again, it would go into that chest instead of it was over here. Now, the next part is adding a second interface. And again, I don't... Where did I put my... Did I put them all back? Oh, I did. I don't know where all this is actually going to go. But we will... I'll kind of like rearrange it so it's a bit tidier. So this one is going to be the next one. And that's going to go into here and here. Because it needs to face the same way as that to go into there. Right, and then we will do that, that. Connect these. Does anyone else hate when it does that? I hate when it connects like that. So we'll do this, this, and that. So if I place the motor in this one, and you may hear a cat in the background meowing. I am cat sitting. So if we do that there, it should do the same thing. Into there and into there. It's just instead of going directly into that one. Oh, no, I need to connect these. I need to connect these. Nope, not that one. This one. A little bit hard to see. So that, location set, to that. And then that, to that. Okay, I think that's gonna work. I don't know, let's try it. Let's try. I think we got it to work. So we'll do 2. And then we should get 1 motor, and then the rest should go in that chest. If I did it correctly. Should have had this ready. But at least the Vulcanus is pretty quick. Alright, so if I got all this working, I'm going to finish up the assembly line. At least 2 for now. I don't know if I'm going to do any more. And then I will be able to... Ooh. I wonder if it's... It may all try to just go in the 1. If it goes in, then we know it's working. Alright. It's there. Did I put... Forgot to put blocking mode on, didn't I? No, I ruined it. I ruined our test. I ruined it. Dang it. All right, hold on. Okay, I've reset it. Got the fluids back into the A system and put the items back. So let me just double check I did that. Although blocking mode might not actually work on this because now that I'm thinking about it, it might not work because I don't have this set up to turn off the item. Let me do that really quick. That is a pretty quick... Well, actually, I don't... Is this gonna work without the rest of it? I don't know. We'll try it. I think it's gonna work, but... Need this chest. Also, I know I don't have an axe. I did it that way because sometimes if you click on this with a cable, it switches it to regular. Guess this is gonna have to go like over here. And then I still think this is going to kind of mess it up. I hope. What I'm hoping is, oh, that's the wrong thing. It'll put like one item in there and then the rest in there kind of thing. I mean, the main thing is that this actually did work. That is the main thing that we're taking away from this, but I do want it to split up both, but I'm trying to do this without a full assembly line set up, so it's making it a bit more complicated. All right, should we try that again? Final thing, and then we got to wrap up the episode. So should be one in there, and then it should be one in the actual assembly line that is running. Obviously, I didn't see it because we were down there, but there we go. All right, it did, in fact, craft that up. Awesome. Okay, so we got the A system up, the assembly lines up to do parallel, and we also set them up to do more than one interface. So the 36 things we can now expand to the next part. Now, the one thing we haven't done is craft up multiple recipes all at once. So that could turn into a big old cluster. But we shall see. So yeah, like I said, going to finish doing this up, and let's check out the matter fabrication CPU next. And I really need to start working towards these energy hatches. But there we go. This is a 14 slot assembly line. I had to upgrade this anyway, so we are making progress. Also, I don't really like this, the way I've done this. I may move that as well. But anyway, that's going to be for today, so thanks for watching, and have a good one.